One small moment can change a family forever. A tired father walked into the kitchen early in the morning. His eyes looked heavy. His shirt was old. His hands were shaking from hard work. He had not slept well for many nights. But that morning, he looked at his daughter and asked her a simple question. "Can you make breakfast today?" It sounded like a normal question. Sometimes love comes from small sacrifices. And this is where everything changed. The little girl was only 16 years old. Every morning, she woke up late for school. She usually rushed through her day without thinking too much about her father's life. She knew he worked hard. She knew he came home tired. But she never truly understood his pain. Her mother had passed away many years ago. Since then, her father worked day and night to raise her alone. He never complained. He never asked for help. Even when he was sick, he still went to work. Even when he had no money, he still smiled. He wanted his daughter to have a better future. But life was becoming harder every day. The rent was late. The electricity bill was unpaid. And food in the kitchen was slowly disappearing. Still, the father kept fighting quietly. That morning, he sat down slowly at the table. His face looked pale. His daughter noticed something strange. Usually he left for work very fast. But today he looked weak. Very weak. For a moment, she stayed silent. Then she walked into the kitchen. At first, she did not know what to do. She opened the fridge. There were only a few eggs, some bread, and milk. That was all. She looked around the small kitchen and suddenly felt emotional. Her father had been living like this for years, and she never noticed. She slowly started making breakfast. Her hands were nervous. She burned the first piece of bread. She almost dropped the eggs. But she kept trying, because for the first time in her life, she wanted to help. Not because someone forced her, but because she finally understood something important. Her father was tired. Not just physically, emotionally tired, mentally tired, tired of carrying every problem alone. When she placed the breakfast on the table, her father looked surprised. A small smile appeared on his face, and that smile meant more than words. He took one bite and quietly said, "This tastes perfect." But the truth was, the food was not perfect. The eggs had too much salt. The bread was slightly burned. The tea was too sweet. But to that father, it was the best breakfast in the world, because it was made with love. And sometimes, love heals pain that medicine cannot heal. But what happened next shocked her completely. As her father stood up to leave for work, he suddenly lost balance. He almost fell to the ground. His daughter ran toward him in fear. Her heart started beating fast. She had never seen him like this before. He tried to smile again and said he was okay. But he was not okay. For years, he had hidden his suffering. For years, he ignored his health to save money. For years, he worked overtime so his daughter could stay in school. And now his body was finally breaking. That night, the daughter could not sleep. She kept thinking about everything. The old clothes her father wore. The nights he came home late. The times he skipped dinner and said he already ate outside. The truth suddenly became clear. He was sacrificing everything for her. Everything. And this is where her heart changed forever. The next morning, she woke up before sunrise. For the first time in years, the house was quiet. The world outside was still dark. But inside her heart, something new had started. Responsibility. She cleaned the kitchen. She prepared breakfast again. This time, more carefully. Then she packed lunch for her father. When he woke up, he looked confused. He saw the clean kitchen, the warm tea, the fresh breakfast, and his daughter smiling softly. For a moment, he could not speak. His eyes became wet. But he quickly turned away so she would not notice. Because fathers often hide their tears. They hide their pain. They hide their fears. just to make their children feel safe. Days started passing differently after that. The daughter became more serious about life. She studied harder. She stopped wasting time on meaningless things. She started helping at home every single day. And slowly, the house changed, not because they became rich, but because love returned to the home. The father no longer felt alone, and the daughter no longer acted like a child. But life was still difficult. One evening, the father came home carrying heavy boxes. Rain was falling outside. His shoes were wet. His hands were cold. The daughter opened the door and saw him breathing heavily. Then she noticed something painful. His hands were bleeding. Small cuts covered his fingers. He quickly hid them and smiled again. But this time, she could not stay silent. Her eyes filled with tears. She realized her father was destroying his body just to protect her future. And deep inside, she made a powerful decision. She would change their lives. No matter how hard it became, no one saw this coming. The daughter started studying every night for hours. While others slept, she kept learning. While others wasted time online, she stayed focused. Some nights were difficult. Some nights, she cried quietly. Some nights, she wanted to give up. But every time she remembered her father's tired face, she continued. Because pain can either break a person or build a stronger one. Months passed. Then one day, something incredible happened. She received a scholarship opportunity. It was small, but it could change everything. The problem was, thousands of students were applying. The chances were very low. Fear entered her heart. What if I fail? What if I disappoint my father? What if all this hard work means nothing? But then she remembered something important. Her father never gave up on her, so she could not give up on herself. This was the turning point. The moment fear met courage. The moment weakness became strength. She prepared harder than ever before. And finally, the interview day arrived. Her hands were shaking. Her voice felt nervous. But she spoke honestly. She spoke about sacrifice, about struggle, about her father, about the mornings he left home tired but still smiling, about the breakfast that changed her life. And when she finished speaking, the room became silent. A few weeks later, a letter arrived at their home. The daughter opened it slowly. Her heart was racing. Then tears rolled down her face. She got the scholarship. Fully accepted. Her father, that strong father, cried openly. Not from pain. Not from stress. But from pride. All those years of suffering suddenly felt worth it. All those long nights. All those sacrifices. All those hidden tears. They finally meant something beautiful. But the story does not end there. Because success is not only about money or achievements. The real success was this. A daughter finally understood her father's love. A father finally felt appreciated. And a broken home slowly became full of hope again. Many people think love is shown through expensive gifts. But real love is different. Real love wakes up early to make breakfast. Real love works long hours without complaining. Real love sacrifices quietly. And sometimes, the people who love us the most are suffering silently right in front of us. Maybe your parents are tired too. Maybe they hide their pain behind smiles. Maybe they are fighting battles you cannot see. So before it is too late, notice the small things. Help them. Appreciate them. Love them while you still can. Because one day, you may realize their sacrifices were the reason you survived difficult times. That simple breakfast changed everything. Not because of the food, but because it opened a daughter's heart. And maybe today, this story can open yours too. If this story touched your heart, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and watch the next story. Because sometimes, the smallest moments teach the biggest lessons.